Okay, so I never would have imagined myself doing a lesson on chicken poop. But, as it turns out, there is a lot to know. A chicken's feces is an indicator of its overall health, and therefore it's important that you are able to discern when something is wrong. For starters, there is a wide range of normal. Chicken poop will be firm, loose, or even runny at times, and can be a variety of colors. Also, it's not unusual for a bird to have some dried poop on her behind. But if her feces appears to be caked on, or if she has obvious soreness around the vent area, that is not normal. By the way, I've heard that a chicken cannot poop while its feet are suspended in the air. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but when you're holding one of your girls, you might want to let her feet dangle to increase the chance of not being pooped on, just to be safe. Chickens produce a lot of poop, and if they aren't, something is wrong. They will poop up to 15 times a day, unlike your cat or dog, which typically poop once or twice a day. A mature hen will yield about 1/3 of a pound of manure per day, or 150 grams. By volume, that's roughly a half a cup, or 125 milliliters every day. Multiply that by the number of chickens you have, and that's a lot of manure. The chicken dropping that you will see most often will be somewhat firm with a white top. Chickens do not urinate and defecate separately. It all comes out at once. The bottom portion of their poop is the fecal matter, and the white portion on top is their uric acid. Many first-time chicken owners become concerned when they see runny poop, thinking their bird has diarrhea, but some loose stool is actually normal. For instance, when temperatures are extremely hot, your chickens will naturally drink more. Moving a lot of water through their digestive system helps regulate their body temperature, a process called excretory heat transfer. As a result, their manure will be very runny. Expect a lot of this when it's really hot. There is also what is known as cecal manure. A chicken has two finger-like pouches called ceca near the end of the digestive tract. Their job is to ferment and further break down particularly fibrous foods. As a result, cecal poop is much different from intestinal manure. First, it has an unusually foul odor. You'll know a cecal poop by the smell alone. It also has a very different texture. It is usually frothy and sticky. It will range in color from brown to greenish yellow to mustard yellow. About 1 in every 8 to 10 droppings will be a cecal poop. Once in a while, you may see poop that has a reddish color. This is rare but normal. It's your chicken shedding some of its intestinal lining. This, of course, shouldn't be confused with blood in the stool, which isn't normal. Your chicken's diet also plays a role. If you see greenish poop, it's probably because you let them free range and eat grass and other plants. If you give them blueberries, expect their poop the next day to be particularly dark. Corn, squash, and strawberries can tint their droppings yellow. Red cabbage and beets can produce a teal-colored poop. Of course, discoloration can be a sign of illness, but typically, if your chicken is ailing, you will see other signs in addition to unusually colored manure. If you see a particularly large quantity of manure in one spot, it's likely from a broody hen. Broody hens will hold their poop for long periods to minimize their time away from the nest. With so many variations of normal poop, it's not always easy to tell what is abnormal, but in a few instances, it will be very clear that not all is well. First, if you see a very small volume of poop, or none at all, you have a problem. Investigate immediately. Time is of the essence. Next is bloody poop. If you see bright red blood in their stool, this is a possible sign of coccidiosis, or cocci. Cocci is a parasitic infection that is accompanied by many other symptoms and is generally fatal if not treated. There is also chronic diarrhea. Diarrhea can be caused by many things: general stress, food poisoning, gorging on grasses or rich foods, heat stress, a virus, antibiotics, a parasitic infection, It's a long list, and the cause may not be immediately evident. A little diarrhea here and there isn't serious, but a chronic condition is. If your chicken has diarrhea, monitor her closely for a few days and look for other symptoms. If the diarrhea passes within a couple of days, it was probably stress or something she ate. You can add electrolytes to your flax water to help her through it. If you suspect the diarrhea is the result of an antibiotic, adding a probiotic supplement to her water will assist the gut in recovering its normal good bacteria. Very dark manure can be caused by the presence of blood from an internal bleed. However, this is extremely rare. Dark poop is generally caused by something other than blood, such as food. I mentioned that green poop is typically caused by eating excessive greens, but it can also be caused by internal worms and certain viral diseases. Chicken poop that is very milky in color could indicate a parasite or Gumboro disease, which is spread by a virus. It could also mean a kidney problem, which unfortunately is common in older birds. Okay, I've just given you quite a bit to process. And yes, knowing what is normal and what isn't, it can be very confusing. So here is my advice. If you suspect your chicken's poop is abnormal, ask yourself a few questions. Number 1, is this an isolated incident or is it recurring? 2, has their diet changed recently? For instance, a new type or brand of feed or more free-ranging than normal? And 3, are there other symptoms such as lethargy, loss of appetite, weight loss, a haggard appearance, or a drop in egg production? If the abnormal manure is occasional and your chicken seems fine otherwise, you probably have nothing to worry about. But if it's recurring and there are other symptoms, you likely have an ailment to treat. You may want to have tests run on a stool sample or perhaps even have your chicken seen by a vet. Many poultry illnesses progress rapidly, so I encourage you to take action right away.